Professor Ross, thank you for coming to Slovenia, for taking your time to join us on this important day also for Slovenia, the World No Tobacco Day in 2017. As you may know, in 15th of February this year, we have made a really and passed a very important law on tobacco, which puts us right in front of many other European countries. And one of the very important topics of this current law is the plain packaging. However, apart from the plain packaging and advertising and affordability, one of the best buys is also price and taxation, and you're an expert on that. So can you tell us a little bit what are we currently missing in Slovenia? What's something which you believe we should be investing more in the following years?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me to Slovenia for this, and I welcome this opportunity to discuss with you and your colleague the situation of tobacco taxes in Slovenia. I think the law on plain packaging is a fantastic start, and we have a lot of good progressive policies. But I think in terms of tobacco taxes, you're lagging behind a little bit the other countries in Europe. In fact, your prices of cigarettes in Slovenia are one of the cheapest in Europe. And I think the industry is taking advantage of this. Over the last 3 years, the industry profit margin increased 50% because they see that there is an opportunity in this market to have higher prices. So therefore, there must be opportunities to increase tax even further than it currently is. So I would definitely recommend Slovenia to consider increasing in excess taxes on tobacco products, and also making the royalty on tobacco products as tax royalty on tobacco products on a similar rate as cigarettes, because if recently we have seen some substitution towards royalty on tobacco, and that can be dangerous for public health.
So you said that we are not doing the best when it comes down to price of tobacco in Europe. Can you tell us more about this?
So when I compare the price of cigarettes in Slovenia using the purchasing power parity, you are probably the 5th least expensive country in Europe. All the Eastern European countries are above your price level, and I think it's disservice to your public health, to your population, to have such a lower price and lower tax.
So, as you may know, in December, the government passed a direct decree that would increase the price of cigarettes every 6 months for 10 cents. What's your opinion about this?
So the 10 cents increase, even though it's a good way to sort of keep the tax increases going up, but the amount is too little to take into account inflation and to take into account the growth of the country, economic growth of the country. So the goal of your tax policy should be to make cigarettes less affordable over time. With such little increase that we currently have in your legislation, the cigarettes will actually become more affordable over time, and that's again could lead to increase of their consumption.
So what you're saying is basically that instead of the money going into the government for better roads, for better healthcare services, they're going into the pockets of the industry.
Exactly, because the industry sees this potential. They see this Slovenia is picking up with economic growth. There is this kind of optimism overall economy. That's when people are willing to pay higher prices for everything, including cigarettes, and the industry is taking advantage of it.
But what about the people who will quit smoking then? For example, there will be no taxation coming into Slovenian budget. How will this affect? So if less people will smoke, how is it going?
So if the people who will stop smoking will not, the money will not leave the economy. We will still have the money they previously used for tobacco products. Now we are going to purchase other products with this. These other products have also taxes, not excise maybe, but it has a VAT tax. So some of it will come back in form of VAT tax. The other advantage is that the money spent here in Slovenia will actually create jobs here in Slovenia. Money spent on tobacco are being repatriated back to UK because the industry here is owned by Imperial Tobacco. So in the end, there will be a positive economic impact on higher taxation in form of more spending here in Slovenia, more spending on domestically produced goods, and therefore it can support the economy that way as well.
So in Slovenia we have Imperial Tobacco, we have British American Tobacco, we have Philip Morris International, and none of them have registered any of the outlets here in Slovenia. So basically, what you're saying is that all the money which is going to be profit, the profit is going to be paid in other countries, and in case Slovenia would be, I don't know, the people will stop smoking, they will use the money and something on Slovenian goods would be better for our economy.
Exactly. So I didn't see, how much profit the tobacco company is paying here, but my experience from other countries is that most of the profits of the international, transnational tobacco companies are not paid in the country where people smoke the cigarettes. They have accounting tricks to make sure that the profit is being repatriated elsewhere, and in most cases the taxation of the profit is so minimal because they have a way to kind of let the profit disappear.
So profits in other countries are externalized, and costs for healthcare stays on us, on taxpayers.
Exactly.
Very good. So just last question: if you would have a magic wand, what would you now suggest our politicians? What would they do? What would be the first step they should make?
I would definitely consider two things. I would consider increasing tax on cigarettes, and dramatically. I'm talking about maybe 50% increase, and because I think this economy can handle it, and it will be good for public health, will be good for the tax revenue. And the other thing would be to equalize the tax rate on rolling on tobacco to make it equal with cigarettes.
So when people decide if they want to smoke 5 cigarettes which are industrially prepared in a cigarette pack, or 5 roll your own, that would pay the same exact.
Yes, exactly. It's more fair, and it also reflects the fact that the cost of smoking is sort of paid for, but because the cost of smoking is the same if you smoke industrially made cigarettes or your own cigarettes.
Okay, and if we don't increase step by step after the 50% increase, of course, the excise duty or the taxation, it actually means that it becomes more affordable for people due to the economic growth and inflation, correct?
Yes, exactly. So I think, in addition to like one big tax increase, you also should consider putting in your law sort of automatic increases that would take into account inflation, and it would take into account economic growth. For example, United Kingdom is now doing that. They have a law that will increase their tax by 2% over inflation every year, and now we're actually asking for additional 5% over affordability. So affordability is becoming, which is a combination of inflation and an income increase. That's how currently the modern tax system is sort of heading in that direction, to consider affordability as a package.
So we have quite seen that it's possible in other European countries, and we see Slovenia as being very progressive on this tobacco bill around the world. So why not? The next step should be, as you suggested. And I'm very thankful again for you to take your time and come to Slovenia, advise us, and also to present in the World No Tobacco Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good.